Hi, it's me again. Before we close out this commentary, I wanted to briefly talk about the story bits that are in the battles mode. Basically, it follows. Well, first you pick your mode, ladder type. You pick your character. You pick your difficulty, and you climb the ladder, climb the battles, fight the battles to fight Superman. And the reason I'm doing this is because just to like give an idea of what like the typical fighting game mode is like. It's similar to like Street Fighter 2, playing single player, any fighting game where you're playing single player, arcade, like you would in the arcade, where you just go through different battles and climb to the top, beat the final boss, and there we go. Also, stuff like the character intros, Batman does that, and Green Arrow does that, and yeah. So it plays just like any other fighting game. There's no really rhyme in the normal mode. There's no rhyme or reason as to who you're fighting. It's if they're on the roster, you fight them, and yeah. And with all the DLC being on this version of the game, there's a random chance of like you getting fighting a person with like a certain skin that's like a different character or different version of the character altogether. So yeah, and there is you do get to play as the deceased Green Lantern that was killed by Superman in this game. He's also a skin, so
you're about to become a pincushion.
Yep.
You're mine.
I don't know what to make of that noise when Batman goes, but anyway, I think really the alternate universe stuff is, and Superman turning evil stuff is just to explain like why you have superheroes battling each other when it should be like a superhero versus supervillain, or like two versions of a character. And obviously the Kryptonian nanotech pills that they were popping earlier in the story explains like why Green Arrow isn't dead now. So, and that's how a typical fight usually goes out. Different character intro, different character outro, and yeah, very cool. And after 9 or 10 battles of like the classic of like the vanilla battles mode, you get to have your stab against Superman, Regime Superman, and he does have a different intro compared to the other Superman. Yep, it depends on your and also the different DLC characters depending have different intros. Like for Superman, like there's like other intros where he's like coming out of the Fortress of Solitude, and I think he's the only one. If I'm not mistaken, I can't think of any other examples. And obviously, if you're playing the Jon Stewart version of Green Lantern, you are he says the same things, but obviously with a different voice actor. And here's the scene transition to the Fortress of Solitude stage. And obviously, we get to see this room, which is so cool. I think you can see Titano, the mecha ape, in the background. Starro is in one of the glass containers. He's super cool. Different alien species, which I think is great. I think Superman is at its best when it's like vintage, weird science fiction stuff. Just seeing that illustration work is really cool. I'd like this to be in a movie, in a Superman movie. Somebody. So anyway, let's see if I can beat Superman. Oh, and for classic battles, the Superman you fight, this is the only time. This is when you're gonna fight Superman in every playthrough. The Regime Superman, even as Superman, which we'll see. And here's Batman Super. I don't know if we showed it off before, but there we go. Batmobile. Yeah, I don't know how that got in here, but there it is. Hopefully I can get the drop on Superman in this one. Probably not.
Prove it.
And also the dialogue between different characters and also different versions of characters. the clash dialogue changes. So yeah. And here's what happens when you lose against Superman. Aww. I don't want to kneel before anybody. I want to heal before somebody. Anyway, obviously you get an extra try. Super easy. Obviously you can choose to retry the match or quit or just choose a different character from that spot. So yeah. Well, hopefully I do a little bit better this time. But I think even on normal difficulty, this might have been on hard, but Superman can be brutal here. So yeah. Maybe even more so than the story mode. So you really gotta be patient. Cape physics. Really gotta know how to fight Superman. So I'm good at Batman, guys. Seriously, I am. Can you see? There's Starro. So yeah, try the Batmobile again. Blocked it. You can block super moves when they're attacks, like connections, but you can't block like little interactive objects in the arena when like an opponent throws it, like Superman here. So there we go. I didn't win, wah, wah. But I get to try again. Yep. Those soldiers remind me of the ones. How many things did Zack Snyder adapt for Batman v Superman? Those soldiers remind me of the ones in that dream sequence. So yeah. And I think on the topic of Doomsday, it's not gonna go back. I don't know which version is usually in here, but I think it's the Earth 2 version. That makes sense. Yeah, it looks like the Regime Earth version. So yeah. Really great science fiction-y alternate parallel universe stuff. It's like that one episode of Star Trek. So. And here we go. We get to see Superman. I was about to say Hercules. Superman get hit a lot of times. And obviously, yep, Batman's a gadgety guy. He makes that case go boom. So. Oh no. Here comes Kool-Aid. I don't know. Whew. But yeah. I don't know if these alien species reference anything from the comics, but some do, some don't, I imagine. But oh no. Batman's gonna be turned into mashed bat. Hopefully this connects. I think it does. Nope, it doesn't. So. Just have to play your cards right, and I don't think I'll win this one, but this takes practice. And there you go. There's my there's my PSN ID. So have fun with that, kids. Message me on how you want to play Star Wars Battlefront and and how you did my mom several times last night. Ooh. But yeah. Oh no. Little nice combos with Batman, but again, you do have to be aggressive with some of these bosses in fighting games. But still, like, think like to block and know not not to win attack, not to attack, win not to attack, and that sort of thing. So just getting started. The bounce attacks usually have a few frames of invincibility, so like depending on the attack and when at what point in the bounce attack you can take some blows without having your character flinch, so that's cool. And I think I win this one, so hopefully I'll kill again. Yep, see, like the bats went away once Batman got hit, so
Overmatched. Prove it.
So hopefully this battle ends at some point. Juggling. There we go. And here's what happens when you beat Superman at the end of battles. Bear hug. Attack hug. Glomp. And there we go. I guess that's what happens in these hypothetical, like, what if sort of stories. Here's Batman's ending.
Following the battle to liberate Earth, Batman learned that Luthor had bequeathed his massive fortune to Bruce Wayne. He now had the means to rebuild Gotham and Metropolis. The city's residents, inspired by their hero's efforts, adopted the slogan, "We are Batman." They contributed countless hours to their community's renovation and crime prevention. The Batman of old would have stubbornly assumed these tasks alone.
Love the illustrations.
The post-One-Earth Batman, having been rewarded for his trust in others, enjoyed his city's renewal and his role as its benefactor.
I don't know about that model at the back of Bruce's head, but there we go. And that's what happens when you win. Get a little ending, get those achievements and trophies. These endings are non-canonical to the story mode, but they do take little. They lift some plot details from the story mode, like apparently Lex Luthor was killed by Superman in Batman's ending, and I think and it doesn't matter what skin you choose for the character, it's always going to be a specific one. Like that was the Earth 2 Batman. Sometimes it's going to be like Earth, when you play as Flash, it's not going to be the Earth 1 version, it's going to be Earth 2 in this little context I'm saying. And here we are exploding on the scene, fighting the freaking crap out of Superman. Duel of the Superman again. Yep, that 1-2 punch. Lethal, man. And obviously I'm doing this just to show different teleporter. The different endings, sort of like get an idea. And we get to see this sequence plays at the end of your fight with Superman, but before the ending. So yeah. And that is the Phantom Zone, by the way. And that is your mother that grabbed Superman in there. Or my nightmares, either or. I don't dream of your mom. I have nightmares of her. And obviously, yeah.
Pleased with the outcome, Superman's battle with his duplicate left him troubled. If one Superman could go so far astray, why not another? Preventative measures were an order.
Narrative dissonance.
After much discussion with his fellow Justice Leaguers, Superman ingested a remote-release kryptonite capsule. At any sign of instability, the kryptonite would permeate his body, killing him. The question of who could trigger the device was solved democratically. Each week, a different Leaguer would take possession of its remote control. Only Batman was denied a shift.
So, yeah, going back, was obviously had to be the Earth, the heroic Superman, And yeah, so I think that's it. And thank you for watching, keeping up with this very, very silly, very long sort of commentary on Injustice: Gods Among Us. As at the time of this recording, the new game does come out tomorrow. Can't wait to get my hands on a copy and play it. And yeah, and hopefully you gain some sort of novelty, some sort of something from this, whether it be like some curiosity, some questions answered, a playthrough, or just wanted to hear me ramble. So anywho, thank you again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Keep being confident, and you enjoy your day. Peace.